Well, you made that look easy. Hello, you absolute legends. Welcome back to the channel. John here on what is a much milder day in Lincolnshire. It's certainly taken a tumble in temperature in the garage. If you haven't caught up with the videos on the channel, we took the car for a test drive. Everything was going fine apart from a little gurgling within the cabin. We got the car back, we opened up the expansion cap and water started running out from the front of the block. The head gasket had blown. Whether or not it was historic and we hadn't found it, or whether or not it'd gone on the test drive, I'm not sure. But we started then stripping down the engine bay to a point where we can now get the head off the engine. In the previous video, that's what we did. We got the manifold off, we've got the top off, we've started stripping the engine bay down. In this video, we're going to get the head off. We're going to have a look at the head, make sure that everything's okay, make sure nothing's warped, make sure the liners haven't dropped, make sure the pistons and the valves are okay, and start the repair process. First port of call, get the head off, have a look, and see how far we get. Day 2, working on the Rover 75 head gasket. Morning.
Good morning, Jonathan.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Living the dream.
Yes, day 2 of working on the head gasket repair on the Rover 75. When we left you yesterday, have you done anything else since or not?
No, I wasn't allowed to.
What are we going to be doing today?
I'm going to undo this, crikey, tensioner bolt.
Yes, which was quite stiff by the looks of things.
It was a bit beyond its 25 Newton metres, which they...
should be talked to.
That was fairly tight, that was, wasn't it? It's got the automatic tensioner on, this one has.
Okay, so you're taking that off?
Yeah. I'm just going to slacken the tensioner off.
And once you've loosened that off, what are you going to be doing? Taking off the cam wheels?
I'm going to just take all this end off then, my old mate. It's put in its safe position. So the mark on there that's got inlet is to the middle. The mark on there that's got exhaust is to the middle. That's from a previous repair. And I've got the old 18G tool in there.
Yeah, what is that tool that you've got in there? Let's just have a just zoom in on there. I can't really see it, you know. Oh, there it is. No, I can't see it. Hang on. Hold it up. Keep it still. Don't move it then. What at?
It's a tool.
What does it do?
It holds the cam wheels in the position for timing it up.
That's so they don't move when
I'm putting the belt on.
putting the belt on.
That's it, mate. That's really all you need. 'Cause it's got marks anyway. You could probably do it without, but it'd be a fiddle. But it's got to...
Okay, so there, that's coming out, that's coming off. So you'll take that belt off.
Yeah, chuck it away.
And then
I've got to
throw it
take
away.
some bolts. Not in a minute, but I've got to take some bolts away out the back of there. There's some bolts behind there, my old mate. Holds the timing cover to the engine.
So once you've got those wheels off, are you physically taking the wheels off?
Yes, mate.
Yeah. You've got the wheels off, you've got the belt off. You'll take that whole end off, I'm assuming? All the plastic cover?
No. I'll just take the bolts out and pull it to one side. And now I'm going to take these wheels off.
So you're going down towards the crankshaft turning area there. What are you...
Taking the crankshaft pulley off my old mate.
Oh, right, okay, let's have a look at that.
Yeah. Okay.
There it is. The crankshaft pulley is off.
Certainly is, mate.
Looking good. No damage to anything there from what I can see.
Looks alright, this. It's an old car, isn't it? Right. So firstly then we've got to take that tensioner off. Let's not worry about that. Let's get the head off first. Let's just get the head off. I'll take that off when I want to do the belt. Right, we'll jack the engine up a bit to make my life easier. Make sure that nothing catches the radiator. I've got some wood under the sump so I don't damage it. We'll whip these wheels off.
So you've jacked the engine up, and the reason you've done that is so you can see the things that hold those wheels in place.
Just to make my life easier.
Just get at it easier. Okay.
Just to make my life easier, mate. Not many people tend to make my life easier, so I'll make it easier myself.
That's the first wheel. Let's have a look at that.
You can see somebody's marked that because that's where the dowel needs to be when you put it back together.
Yeah.
If you're using that pulley on the inlet, you put the dowel in there. It's the same pulley there, but you'd put it there, if you see what I mean.
I see. So someone has marked that up so we know that that is...
They've marked it to make the life easier when they're putting it together. They're making the life easier. It's where the engine's timed up. All the pistons are level at a safe mark,
yeah.
So you can't damage any valves by fiddling about. They're all halfway.
There's the second one.
They're all halfway, me old mate. Right, there's some little bolts in there to whip out. Boss at work today.
No, she's getting her hair done. So there's two big cam wheels at the top there.
Yeah.
That you've taken off. What are you taking off now? Is there another cam wheel there?
No, these little bolts that hold that cover.
Oh, it's the bolts that hold that plastic cover in place.
Hold the cover to the head, yeah.
That's it. Okay, now let's have a look. Ah, now I can see. So they're behind the cam wheels.
Yeah.
So you can't take the cover off, obviously, until you've taken them wheels off.
Can't get them bolts out until you took the cam wheels off, no. Yeah. That's right, me old mate.
Is it just the two bolts that hold it on?
Yeah, I can't remember without looking. Soon tell you. Yeah, there's another one.
Ah, what at the bottom?
Yep, there's another one down there. That's a bit awkward, isn't it? Let's take that tensioner off in a second. So you've been Loctited then, that's why it was tight.
What's that you can see?
There's a Loctite on it, look. You see it?
Yep, that's on. And what is that, sorry?
Loctite.
No, what is that unit?
This is the tensioner for the timing belt.
Okay. Why would someone put Loctite on it?
So they didn't want it to come undone. They've normally got a patch lock bolt in. That one's a new one of them.
A new tensioner?
Well, you normally would change it anyway, mate, when you put the belt on it. It's had a water pump fitted, because there's all RTV jolloped everywhere.
Let's have a look.
Can you see, look?
I can see. It has had a new water pump.
It's had blooming everything fitted to it, hasn't it? You name it, they've done it to it.
And it's still overheated.
Not right. Still.
But you say that. I tell you one thing it didn't have: a new expansion cap.
No, it didn't, mate, did it? That's true.
So what you're saying is, it's had a new radiator, it's had a new timing belt, it's had a new water pump, it's had a new head gasket.
Sometimes.
It's had a new inlet manifold.
Not an inlet, man.
It's gasket.
It's had that done, yeah. It has.
And somebody hasn't replaced the £10 coolant cap.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Maybe, yeah.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing.
So because it's had a new water pump, are you going to replace it?
We'll have a look when we get looking.
Yeah. Have a look when we get looking.
Has it had a good water pump fitted, or has it had a not very good water pump fitted? Well, it's definitely had a water pump fitted.
It has, hasn't it?
It's had nearly everything done, really.
That's a worrying sign.
Pistons.
I hope it hasn't had the pistons done.
Let's not worry. I'm not going to worry yet. Not until I've got all this off. Oh, this has been to bits before. By me.
Yes. And that's the annoying thing, isn't it?
No, it's not annoying me in the slightest.
Well, we knew we was potentially going to have to do it, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was always the inevitable, wasn't it?
Yeah. Jolly well was, son. It was, me old mate.
What are you taking off there?
Little bracket that holds the dipstick tube, mate, and then I can just move it out of the way a bit.
So everything that was holding you up is now not hopefully holding you up. What's next?
It's a bit of jigglage.
And then I'm guessing the head's coming off.
Don't know what I'm going to do, mate.
So we've got these dowels, not dowels.
Hang the cam wheels back on for a second, just roughly.
Why are you doing that?
You'll see in a minute. Let's turn the cam so I can get to the bolts. Just hanging them back on. Just hang them back on anyhow, it don't matter. Just so I can turn the cams. Right.
Oh, right, so you can get to the bolts easier.
I shall do when I get round to it. Right, so these are, undo them in the opposite way of tightening them up. So, clonk, clonk.
And there's a specific pattern and way to tighten these up.
There's one in the manual, yeah. See, I can't get at that one, you see.
Because the cam's in the way.
Yeah. It doesn't matter because the engine is in its safe position. So I can turn the cams wherever I jolly well want, as long as the cams valves don't foul each other. That's it.
What is that tool you've got there?
It's the patented cam wheel turning tool.
You've made that, have you?
Yes, ma'am.
What did it used to be? In fact, let's just have a look at that because people might be interested in that. So it's a piece of wrought iron with some spikes on
No, I
it.
think some of it is your old gate, isn't it? No. No, is it something to do with your fence?
Might be. So you've made it out of...
Yeah, something to do with your fence at the front, I think. And railings on top of your wall.
That is ingenious.
I think it's something to do with that.
So you've made that purely to turn cam wheels on a K-series engine?
Well, it'll hold stuff and it'll turn stuff.
Now you're being quite careful taking these out.
Yeah, I am.
And you're loosening sort of in the correct position and pattern.
Yeah. Don't want to distort anything or cause any damage
I was going to say, is that
to
important?
the head or the block or the oil rail. Just,
Gently does it.
yes, it's good practice to always take a head off methodically.
Not whip one out and take it, nip all that out and take it all the way out now.
Just whap the buzz gun on it and whip them all out.
Is that bad practice?
It is really, yeah.
And can you reach, so these are really long
Yeah,
head bolts.
Yeah.
I do have some new ones,
you
but
do.
can you reuse these?
There's a measurement
Okay.
and you can measure the length of the thread to see how much they've stretched.
Because they're a stretch bolt, aren't they?
Yes, mate.
Let's have a look at that.
Hang on a second. We shall be refitting new ones, I think.
Yes, absolutely. But if you were in a situation where you didn't fit new
If
ones...
you look on Rave, there's two sets of measurements. There's one where it's fitted into the oil rail and you screwed it all the way in. On the bottom of the engine there's a ladder. It's got threads in it. This is what this screws into.
Yeah.
at the bottom of the engine, right inside the sump, below the block, and there's a measurement, you can measure that. And there's another measurement that you can do with the head on as well. But had a look on Rave to check that they've not stretched past their...
use.
Yeah.
Do they look like they're the originals, or they've been refitted?
They're not the originals.
So they're
I think. Oh, look. Oh, they are. They've got the marks on, though.
What marks do they say?
I see them marks there.
Yes.
Not sure what that is. That's because it's 20 Newton metres and it's 180 degrees. It's 180 degrees. And to save using an angular dial torque gauge, you can just put a mark on the head. So you've tightened it down to 20 Newton metres. You can put a mark on the head lining up with them, give it half a turn, which is 180 degrees,
yeah,
to all of them, then go round again.
And that's what those marks are for?
Yeah.
But they're factory marks?
They are, I'm sure they are. I don't know about the manufacturer, though.
Okay, well, we can compare, can't we? Because we've got, obviously, a new set of these, so if they've got their marks on...
See, we didn't used to change these in the dealership.
What, the head bolts?
Very rarely.
What was the reason behind that? Money?
Because normally it was probably changed... It wasn't part of the repair procedure to systematically change the bolts. The repair procedure was to check the bolts.
And replace if necessary.
Most people now, especially seeing as they're reasonably priced, change the blinking things.
Yeah, I think a full set of the bolts cost me 30 quid.
So make sure you get the maximum sort of clamping force on your block.
Yeah, the last thing you want is for it to
this is it,
be loose.
Most people change them now. Lots of engines, stretch bolts, compulsory, you change them every time. Like on the big end bolts and that, we change the bolts.
But as part of the main dealership
when
repair...
I was doing them in the year 2000, it wasn't mandatory to change the bolts.
That's quite worrying, because if you were doing them in the year 2000, they were failing almost instantaneously.
No, but think about it. This engine's been in Rover 200. You see, there's an 8-valve version of it in the Metro.
Yes, okay.
Metro,
so not just in the Rover 75 you're referring to the
this
case.
goes right back to the hatchback 214.
Yeah. That's obviously what you were replacing in the day.
I was just doing quite a few of them. One or two.
100.
But they're the same problems then as they do now. You know, manifold gaskets, head gaskets. We didn't have a lot of water pumps, but that's probably gotten worse with age now. That bolt doesn't feel very good. It's almost as though it's corroded on the threads. It's not though, is it?
That's good news.
Just didn't feel good.
Well, that would be the bolt where it's failed, isn't it?
Where it's leaking.
Yeah. So you're... Hang on a minute. So let's look at that bolt
That one didn't want to come out as well.
And that's where it's leaking, isn't it? Right in front of that bolt. There's the leak.
Well, the last one you had of these was leaking at the front like that, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah. Interesting that you said that bolt doesn't feel right, though.
So it might have had a bit of water in, doesn't it? So, we're going to change these, aren't we? Right, my old matey load.
Right, so all the head bolts are out, nearly.
We'll be in
How many is there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
You count the blinking
I'm
thing.
trying to, I've lost count. Let's count them. Have you got them all out?
10.
10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There they all are. And have they all got that mark on the end of it? Yeah, they have. Cam wheels will come back off again then.
Clear. Nothing's tight, nothing's fastened up, nothing's in the way, nothing's going to stop me from lifting that off. He said. What?
Yep, I've got it out of the way. Here we go. Well, you made that look easy. Ah. Hang on. Let's have a look. What's that? What was that you just pulled out there?
Don't know what it is.
Silicon?
Might just be a bit of gasket. Huh. It looks like a bit of silicon, doesn't it?
It does. Do you reckon someone might have...
Well, they're a bit blooming liberal with it, aren't they? Look at all this.
What's all that
I
there?
don't know what it is. This wants a good clean, doesn't it?
It does. People on the internet
Got nice plugs in it.
will question
Yeah.
if we're going to skim that head or not. I'm guessing we need to check the gauges, check it all.
We've put a straight edge across him, yeah.
It doesn't look like a banana, but
Well, you're not be able to tell, mate, can
no.
you?
Let's have a look then. Let's have a look at that head.
So, what have we got on it? What's this?
Hang on,
flipping
let's have a look.
gasket?
Coming this way.
I don't know what that gasket is. Is it a multi-layer?
I don't know. Looks it. Or you can
Oh, yeah.
well, we can see why it's
I
failed.
think the gasket's faulty, don't you?
Just show us that again. Now we know why. Hang on a minute. Ah, yeah. That could be the problem. So it's a multi-layered steel gasket.
Yeah, it is a multi-layer.
As we can
isn't it?
see, yeah, it's a multi-layered steel. But has it snapped?
It's corroded away.
It's corroded away there, look.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't wasted our
Didn't
time.
leave the factory with that, and it's got steel dowels as well.
And so what does that mean?
Because they had plastics, didn't they? And you can still see the scratch marks from when they cleaned it up and put that on, though.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at it in
Yeah,
here.
what's
then.
caused that gasket to fail like that?
You tell me. You're the expert.
I know.
Water has clearly been getting in there, hasn't it?
Well, water gets in there, doesn't it? But it.
It's
yeah.
rotten. It's actually rusty, isn't it? Are you feeling the liner heights? Has it dropped?
It's probably level. We need that rubber gasket on. What do they call it?
It's like a polymer gasket, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's high.
Yep.
That one's high.
Okay.
Without putting a straight edge on, and that one's definitely high.
Okay. So where it's failed here,
This one's low.
the liner has sunk.
It's a bit low, but I don't think it's not terminal. I think we've got to clean it up first and have a look.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So.
Now then,
Welcome back. We've had a cup of tea. Someone has fitted the multi-layer steel gasket there, and clearly it's rotted at the place where the marks were on the block. You can see here is where it's come off, and it needs a good old clean there. It's obviously rotted because water is getting past the liner to that gasket and has rotted it away. Is that right?
yeah, doesn't look like it's been pressurising though, does it? It's just been leaking. Light. Where's the light gone, son?
I don't know. I haven't had it. There it is.
Let's just follow this fire.
So talk me through what you're looking at, what you see.
I'm
and
looking
what
at
you're
this.
thinking.
I'm looking at this line all the way around here.
Yep. And that's the gasket line.
This has got a bit of an issue here. Look, can you see that line? That silver bright line where that ring in the gasket fits.
Yeah.
It's not very wide there, but it's sealed.
That's the piston line.
This is the combustion chamber to the cylinder head.
Right. Okay.
And as far as I can see, we've not had any leakage through there. But what all This wants a good clean, doesn't it? But it's got this, that's the gasket, isn't it? But any fish, we've not got any cracks in the combustion chambers. That's a good sign. Plenty of scroaking where he's scroaked it when he's cleaned it off. What we need to do
So
is...
this has been replaced. It's had a new head gasket.
Can
in
you
its
see?
life.
Can you see where they've cleaned it up?
Yeah, here. It's all, as you say, scroaked.
That's where they've been putting the head on, and it's been hitting against the dowel when they've been putting it on that line there. Can you see it?
Yep. So here.
Yeah. And these are like scratch marks where they've cleaned it.
It's almost as if it's been cleaned just with a piece of sandpaper.
It looks a bit like it, doesn't it?
What would you be cleaning it with?
Lubricant, solvent and Scotch-Brite.
You've got some Scotch-Brite there, yeah.
So what we need to do, my old mate, is clean all this up. Look for pitting and damage. Check it for straightness.
But no cracks?
Well, there's nothing visible, no.
No. It looks like, as you quite rightly say, and as I think even I've worked it out, that liner is a little bit low. Water has been getting up the top here to that gasket, has rotted that gasket out, and then has started coming out the front of the block.
We'll just have to wait until we can put a straight edge on it. But that liner is low compared to all the others.
Why would one liner sink?
I don't know, mate. It's not low there. But I don't think it's all the way down. So if we put that gasket on, and I can't think what it is now.
Yeah. I want to say it begins with an E. Elastomer?
It's got a name, hasn't it? But basically the ruddy gasket's rotted out, hasn't it?
Yeah, basically. Because it shouldn't have a... Well, it's got a multi-layer
I
steel
wonder
on.
why it's not lasted, though. Was it a rubbish gasket? Was it a rubbish gasket? It's just rotted, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be better, whatever we do, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Will that have decreased the performance of the car, being like that?
No, I thought so, mate.
No, it's just obviously...
not noticeable, I would have thought. It's just blooming, just rotted out, isn't it? It's rotted out all over, isn't it?
Yeah. It's failed, hasn't it?
You know. I hate to generalise, but you could almost expect that it's a Chinese knockoff, couldn't you? Well, are you allowed to say that?
I don't think you can say that. I think what you can say is that it is a subpar quality part.
It's not.
Someone has bought, for example, a £30 gasket as opposed to a £150 gasket. But also, saying that, it's not always to do with price, is it?
No.
It's to do with quality. This is crap, isn't it? It's trash. It's no good.
We can,
In fact,
we can save that and take it to the Rustival.
yeah, there you go. It could go in your display cabinet.
At the Rustival.
We need the head gasket inspector to come and have a look at that. Head gasket, no good. New head gasket incoming. Thankfully, we've got a couple, haven't we? We've only got multi-layered steel gaskets.
Who says that?
Me, I think, have we not? We've got a couple of gaskets in stock, courtesy of a couple of beautiful people on the internet who have sent us a couple. Brian sent us one, and John sent us one as well.
Yeah, John did.
Let's have a look. What we got? Ah, they're in there, look. In the Rover 75 parts department. So that's, as far as I'm aware, that's a multi-layered steel gasket.
Both are, aren't they?
They both are, yeah. Okay, well, they might not be any good.
We need the rubber gasket. We can use the rest of it though. We've got the front and back cam seals, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got stuff in there we can still use. We've got the bolts as well, which are in there.
Yeah.
We just need to get another gasket.
Yes, with it being level, yeah.
Yeah. So, from the way I understand it from reading on forums, the multi-layered steel gasket is suitable if the liners haven't sunk.
That's right.
But because one of our liners appears to have sunk, we're going to need the squidgy rubber gasket.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, fine, fair enough.
Bizarrely enough, I was talking to, before we went into the Rover business, and I was talking to somebody that likes Rovers, and he told me the same information.
What, that if the liners have sunk, squidgy gasket?
Yeah.
If they haven't sunk, multi-layered steel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think what the squidgy gasket's called now. It's got a proper...
Someone will tell us in the comments.
Well, of course they will, but we shall soon find out by just looking at the old interwebs, shan't we?
Yeah. Okay, good.
I'm as happy as can be.
And just like that, the head gasket inspector has arrived. What is this? Yes. What's this?
On it. Rubbish on the front.
The head gasket inspector says no.
It's rough, isn't it?
Well, there you go then. That is the end of this part of the Rover 75 head gasket repair series, saga. You can hear Dad in the background. He's slowly cleaning off the top of the block. In this video, we discovered why the head gasket failed and took the head off. You can see why it's failed. We know why it's failed. I think. Yeah, that was always going to cause us a problem, wasn't it? And interestingly, didn't show up in our cylinder leakage test. Anyway, next port of call, new head gasket on, get everything nice and clean, get everything measured. Are you putting new valves in?
I ain't got around to looking at it yet.
Potentially some new valves. Have a great day, whatever you're getting up to. If you haven't already, please like the video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. This is going squarely in the bin. It's a load of rubbish. This will be one of the best Rover 75s in the country by the time we've finished. Maybe. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. If you've enjoyed this video, I've selected a few more specially for you on this page. Click either side to select them now. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button to always stay up to date with the channel.